Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, so today is your final evening, right? Before you meet your, biology paper, you enter the what you call the pertarungan, your last final battle with your SPM. For most of you, it will be the last paper, unless you've taken some extra papers. Okay, so today I would like to discuss a few questions from a very important topic chapter, which is on chapter 15.4, that is on reproduction. Okay, so I'm going to share screen now. So I do not know who is with me now. Let me double check. Okay, Sue Brandon, I think you were with me yesterday. Okay, thanks for watching, and nice to see we are here again. Okay, so I'm going to, because for the past 2 years, 2021 and 2022, there were questions that came from this chapter. Okay, so today I have picked up some questions to discuss with you. It's not soalan ramalan, because I don't do what we call ramalan. Okay, I don't forecast. I don't have tips, right? What questions will come out? But what I can do is I will tell you, in case these questions come out, this is what you should answer. Okay, so Daniel Shafiq. Okay, nice to see you too. So I'm going to start now with quite popular questions. All right, it's called soalan panas. So now, what are the things that you should not forget in this chapter 15? Okay, number one here is the reproductive system of humans, meaning the male and female. This one you have learned in Form 1 before, okay, with the parts. So there's nothing much here. All right, nothing much here is exactly what you have learned in Form 1. You must know how to label what are the parts, male and female, and also the function of each part. Okay, because it can come out in the objective as well. A very simple question. They label one X, and then what is the function of this X? Okay. The next thing is more technical and more challenging will be explain the formation of sperms and ovum, which is called gametogenesis. Okay, so for the formation of sperm is spermatogenesis, formation of ovum is oogenesis. Okay, so you must be clear. Anda mesti tahu process, okay, from the beginning until the end. And also differences, perbezaan antara gametogenesis and oogenesis. This one is in the textbook. You just flip open your textbook. It's all there. Okay, the points are there. All right. Next thing you need to know, very important, is the menstrual cycle, which is very technical because it involves many hormones. Okay, and there are 4 phases of the menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle lasts 28 days, not 30 days. It's not 1 month. To be technically correct, it's 28 days. Broken down into 4 phases. Okay, so you should know what happens in all the 4 phases. Okay, what causes the breakdown of the endometrium that produces this, what we call the bleeding. Okay, that's during the first 5 days, we call menstruation. Okay, and so on. What happens after that? Second phase. Third phase is the ovulation phase, all right, which is the fertile phase, where the egg is released. Okay, all that you should be very clear, all right. And also, very important to tie in together with the menstrual cycle is what are the function of these 5 important hormones. Okay, 5 important hormones: the GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. Okay, FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, hormone perangsang follicle. Luteinizing hormone, hormone pelutinan, estrogen, and progesterone. Okay, every one of these, what is the function? All right, that one I don't need to tell you now. You would have already done your revision, so I'm just letting you know you don't forget this. Okay, then after knowing about the the menstrual cycle, the egg is released, so you will have fertilization. Okay, so after fertilization, what happens? It is the development of the human fetus, whereby at first is one cell, which is called the zygote, undergoes repeated mitosis, 2 cells, 4 cells, 8 cells, okay, 16 cells. Okay, after that, you will get, this is what we call morula. Then plastosis, After that, you have the embryo, and then it's implanted onto the endometrium. And after that, after 2 months, it's called the fetus. Okay, the fetus, you will have physical features. You can see the eye, you can see the head, the fingers, the arms, and the legs, and so on. Embryo, on the other hand, you cannot see the bahagian badan. All right, it's just like a ball of cells. Right, you do not know which is the head, which is the which is the kaki, and all that, because it has not formed the organs yet. So at that time, before 2 months, you still call it an embryo. But after 2 months, until the birth of the baby, is still known as fetus. You don't call it technically a baby yet. A baby is only known is after it is being born. So in biological terms, you still call it a fetus, okay? While the fetus is still inside the womb or in the uterus. It's not called baby yet, actually. All right? Baby is a layman term, what we call bahasa biasa. But in technical terms, you should call it a fetus. Okay, or in BM called janin. Okay, you need to know the function of placenta. All right, what is the function of placenta? Why is it there? And the relationship between the fetal and the maternal circulatory system. Okay, you must know that the baby's blood, or we call the fetal blood, and the maternal blood, that means the mother's blood, they do not physically mix. There is a membrane separating. Okay, I'll go through one of the questions here. Why is it important? What is the advantage of having this separated? The blood do not actually mix, but the substances can pass through. The mother can give oxygen to the baby or the fetus. The mother can provide amino acid, can provide antibody, and so on. It can cross the membrane, but the blood, the red blood cells, they do not go into the blood of the baby. Okay. Next, formation of twins. Because after the formation fertilization, you have the we call it already pregnant, right? You have formation of twins. Okay, so there are two types of twins, actually three types, yeah? No, two types, like identical and fraternal, right? Identical, if they're joined together, it's called conjoined twins, like we call the Siamese twins. Okay, and you must know how is the formation of twins. Does it come from one sperm, one ovum, or two sperms, two ovum? Okay. Health issues related to human reproductive system. Okay, now just one point to remember, if you want to find out whether it's identical or fraternal, identical twins or fraternal twins, all right, identical twins, they are always same gender, same sex, girl, or boy. For fraternal twins, it can be girl, boy, or boy-girl. Okay, because basically fraternal twins, they come from two different sperms and two different ovums. They are formed by two different fertilization. There are two different events of fertilization. Right, so therefore they were attached separately. So for fraternal twins, you have two placenta. The two placenta may be attached separately. So you can see clearly there is two placenta. But for identical twins, usually there's only one placenta. Okay, that's how you will see from the diagram. So if only one placenta, it is identical twins. If it's two placenta, it's most probably it is fraternal twins. Okay, two separate fertilization, and therefore it attaches at two different places in the endometrium. Okay, so other health issues, yeah, related to human reproductive system, cannot have children. All right, what are the technologies like IVF? That one I'll go through because it's been very popular these last few years. Okay, now lastly, growth in human and animals. Okay, and you need to remember the shape of the graph. For humans, okay, animals or humans that do not have a hard, what they call exoskeleton, the growth is following the shape called the sigmoid curve. Okay, that one you have learned in chapter 15 here, all right, last year. Sigmoid curve is like an S shape, all right. Then for animals with exoskeleton, okay, so they have a hard covering, so the body cannot expand continuously. They have to grow intermittently. That means from time to time. They grow one time, after that stop, no more growth. Wait for the exoskeleton to break. All right, it will basaliculate a few times. Then the length will increase immediately. After that, no more increase until the next ecdysis, the next molting. All right. I see Ari Diesel. Okay, thank you for watching. Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, and I think that's about it lah. These are the important parts. All right. If you need to touch and go, please make sure you cover all this. Okay. Of course, you cannot be covering every single thing. So for every chapter, I'm going to tell you these are the things that you should know. All right. Okay. Let's look at one question. Right. This is a simple, straightforward question lah. Right. A couple married for 5 years is having difficulties conceiving. Means cannot hamil. Okay, the woman cannot mendapat anak lah, tidak dapat hamil. After numerous checkups, it's discovered that the wife has a condition shown in diagram 1. So the condition is not given in name. You have to infer from the diagram. All right, so you should be able to see from here, there's something wrong with one part here. Okay, which is the fallopian tube ataupun tube fallopian. Right? Explain the implication. Implication means the akibat. Okay, what happens? Right? What happens if you have this case? Happens on the ability of the wife to have children. So, apakah kesan? Okay, this masalah on this woman having children. Okay, the ability to have children, and it's only 3 marks. Maybe one small part of your structure, one part of your structure, or one small part of your essay. Okay, so definitely this one is a what they call cannot have pregnancy because the uterus we call the ovum. Okay, the ovum that is released from ovary tidak boleh cannot be passed down the fallopian tube. Okay, so the first thing you remember is you must answer the question. The question say is implication of the condition. Don't straight away explain first. Okay, you can, but don't forget to say what is your implication first. So the first answer you should say is cannot have children. The woman will not be able to bear children or will not be able to conceive. Okay, tidak boleh menjadi hamil. So this is what we call you are answering directly the question. We want that fact. F stands for fact. You need this. If you don't answer this, you keep on saying what problem the person has, fallopian tube tersumbat, right? And then ovum cannot come down to the uterus, cannot be fertilized. It's not wrong, okay? But you don't get full mark because you didn't answer the question. The question says, what is the implication? So the implication is the woman cannot have children. All right. So you must say this. This is important. One of the marks, all right, is compulsory. Then you later on you can talk about what is the problem, why the woman cannot have children. Okay, yes, Navi, good evening. Yeah, all right. So because she has got a narrow or blocked fallopian tubes. Okay, you must name. You cannot just say tube only. You must say fallopian tube. So always choose to be more technical when you answer because it shows off your knowledge. Okay, do not simply beat about the bush. Must be technical. Okay, and then if you have narrow fallopian tube, so what? What cannot happen? So the ovum released from the ovary cannot travel down to the uterus. So you can see it is a negative statement. Cannot do this, cannot do that because this is a problem. Okay, so you must answer in terms of cannot this, cannot that. Okay, there will be students last time they will answer or talk about all the function of fallopian tube is to allow the ovary, the uterus, allow the ovum to come down to meet the sperm. That one cannot get marks because you're not answering the question. The question says, what will happen? What will happen is ovum cannot be fertilized. Ovum cannot travel down the uterus. Okay? So another point you can say is, you always think there are 3 points there, you write more, 4 or 5. Because sometimes you tembak tak jadi, right? You add in, you back up with more points. Because the sperms are unable, see again, a negative statement. It has to be a negative statement because this is an abnormal situation that shouldn't happen. So, tak boleh ini, tak boleh itu, cannot this, cannot that lah, right? Cannot, unable to come into contact, tak boleh bertemu with the sperm cannot bertemu with the ovum in the fallopian tube. Therefore, there will be no fertilization. Okay? So, because no fertilization, therefore you cannot have children lah. So, you can see F circle lah, I circle means mesti ada. So if you only give all the P1, P2, P3, P4, you only get maximum 2 marks. You do not get 3 marks because you never mention the implication. Okay, clear, right? So always remember, read 2 times before you answer. You see what the question wants first. Before you start to explain from beginning until the end, in fact, you didn't answer the question. Okay, question number 1, yeah, simple, straightforward. Okay, number 2, this is IVF. So many of the questions that come out in essay is about applying. Okay, you know the fact. How does it happen in real life? You know the fertilization has to happen and so on. How do we overcome the problem of people who are not able to have children? So menggunakan teknologi IVF. So in the past 2 years, I think, yeah, this has come up. I cannot say for sure whether it will come up again or not, but just to be prepared. Okay, the couple opts memilih ya for in vitro fertilization. So it's the same question just now, continuous, in order to have a child. So IVF, you should know what's IVF lah, alright? So that's why you need to revise her. So IVF starts with hormonal injection. Before you start the IVF procedure, it takes a few months. 3 months before you undergo this procedure, the woman has to be given hormone injection. 3 months before, not today come, today do. Alright, you have to do some homework first. 3 months before, must give injection. Based on your knowledge of biology, okay, based on what you already know about hormones, what is the hormone that should be used? Okay, what is the hormone that you need to give to the woman? Okay, after that, explain your answer. So you have to answer the name first. What is the name of the hormone first? And then the other 2 marks is to explain why you use this hormone. Okay, that means you must know the function of hormone. Apa guna hormone ini? What does it do to the woman's body? Okay, so this is the PM version of the question. All right, so you need to know, all right, for IVF, you need to select the ovum out. Ovum has to be taken out, all right? And in order to increase the chances of survival, give more chances of success, meningkatkan peluang untuk berjaya, you cannot just take one ovum only. If you take one ovum, in case tak berjaya lah, then you only have one shot. That means you are wasting your money, you know. And this IVF costs at least more than 10,000. All right. If it doesn't work, then you have wasted all your money, right? So in order to increase the chances of success, okay, so supaya berjaya lah. So we will always select more than one ovum. But you know, in a normal cycle, a woman only produces one ovum every month. Hanya satu. So in order to increase the chances of getting more eggs, to make the woman make more eggs, you have to give hormone. All right. So what is the hormone that you use? Okay, you should know by now. Anybody knows? Anybody knows out of these students who are here? Anybody knows what hormone you should be using? Don't give me any simple hormone, because each of those 5 hormones has its own function. So which one is the hormone that will make more? Which one is the hormone that will make more ovums? Produce more ovums. Anybody? Yashnavi, Ari, Dizo, Brandon, Daniel. Anyone? Okay, don't tembak only. Anybody knows? Yashvani, very good. FSH. Okay. Feeble manners, or you give 2, Chao Jianwei, you give 2. Actually, it's not LH. LH is to stimulate the follicle graft to release the mature egg, which is the secondary oocyte. So it has to be FSH. Because FSH, fungsinya atau function of FSH is to make the ovum actually. It is because follicle is that, you know, that in the ovary there are a lot of these lubang-lubang, a lot of these little holes. Inside there, they will be developing the egg. All right. When the baby is born, the woman already got a lot of this primary oocyte, thousands of it. But, all right, every month, one of these primary oocyte will menjalani the transformasi to become secondary oocyte, but only one. So you want to make sure that more primary oocyte can become secondary oocyte. You must increase your FSH. Okay, so this is the mark that you answer the question first, FSH. Kalau you tulis LH, salah ya. Okay, but you won't get totally salah. See your explanation. Alright, but this one definitely must be FSH because FSH is the function. It is to stimulate development of more secondary follicles. When you have more secondary follicles, you will have more secondary oocyte. That means the egg, right? So more than one graphene follicle, because you got more than one secondary follicle, you will have more than one graphene follicle. And every one of these graphene follicle will have one secondary oocyte. Okay, so always remember, underline, I stress you must say more, because normal situation you already have one. So if you add in more FSH, you will get more. More is important because it shows a difference in the number. Okay, so more than one secondary oocyte will be released during ovulation, during the 14th day. So, and then when it's released, all right, the doctor will use the ultrasound scan, all right, with the catheter, go into the pusat, the navel, and maneuver that little thing there and go and take the secondary oocyte out. Okay, so you need to have more eggs to work on. So this increases the chances of fertilization. Okay, so you have to produce more eggs. So 3 marks only. All right. So the question will continue afterwards. All right. Okay. So any questions? All right. So I hope it's clear so far. You need to know the correct hormone to say. Okay. So now the next question. Right. This is straightforward. They ask you to explain the IVF. How this IVF done? All right. So you notice this diagram is very general. All right. You say, oh, embryo transfer, a sperm there. All right. But you need to generate your sentences, and always remember, whatever's given in the diagram or given in the question, if you copy bulat-bulat, marks will not be given. That means in the schema of the pemeriksaan, okay, exact sentences, for example, egg retrieval. You will not be given any mark if you say egg retrieval or egg is retrieved. If you say embryo is transferred into the uterus, let's say because it's given a question, diagram then you won't get also. So let's say if there's no diagram, you write whatever words you use, then the schema can give marks. All right. So this one is actually no diagram one. I just add in just for bagi cantik saja. Okay. So terangkan, explain. 6 marks how IVF is done to help the couple to conceive. Conceive means the woman become hamil lah. All right. So you start off with, again, remember the thing is you have to take out the egg. All right. Take out the ovum first. So a laparoscope. Okay. So this is the alat, the device that will be put into the navel. Navel is your pusat lah, right? The tali pusat, not tali pusat. When you attach to your mother last time, right? That pusat, the little lubang there. It is to collect ova, or ova means plural. Not only one, they collect a few, right? At least 2 from the ovaries. Either one on the left or one on the right, or whatever lah. Then the ovum are placed in a culture medium, okay? Because it has to have sterile condition. All right, it cannot be exposed to environment where it can be contaminated with bacteria and virus. Okay, it will definitely die. So it is put into a medium culture or culture medium to mature. All right, so it will have nutrients and everything lah. Right. Then after that, have to collect the semen from the father or from the husband. So semen collecting sperm from the husband, containing sperm from the husband are collected and placed in another culture medium. So don't add in first. You put in another culture medium, and then they're going to do some process, right? Because some of the reasons for IVF is possibly the sperm of the husband is not concentrated enough. That means a lot of semen. Semen is a lot of the liquid there, but don't have enough sperms. So that means it's very chai. So what they need to do is they select, look under the microscope, take out all the cacat ones. Select all the good ones. Sometimes the sperm can be rosak, 2 heads, 1 tail, or 1 tail, 2 heads. All right, 2 heads, 1 tail, or 1 head, 2 tails. Some of them are cacat one. So you got to take out, select the ones, and we concentrate it. So now you remove some of the semen, the liquid, and then you will get, now the semen is now concentrated. Okay, the liquid remove a little bit, and then it becomes more concentrated. So it increases the chances of fertilization. Okay, and then it adds on to the dish that contains the ovum. Okay. Okay. LH. LH is not to stimulate ovulation only if the ovum is released. Now you want to make Okay, Yashnavi. Your LH is to stimulate ovulation, correct? But actually, before your ovulation, you only have one egg. If you have put more LH, you have only one egg also. We want to make more eggs. You want to stimulate the what I call the production of more oocyte. That one needs FSH. Okay, if you say you stimulate ovulation, yes. But if your whole ovary only got one, you add in more LH also, you will still get only one egg. You need to put FSH to make more eggs. Understand or not? Right? Okay, so LH is to release ovulation, but making the eggs is more important. Okay, right. Okay, thank you. Right. So now, next step, fertilization now occurs, and it happens in the culture medium outside the body. Yeah, that's why I call in vitro. In vitro actually is a Latin word meaning in glass. It is in glassware. It is not inside the human body. All right, so it happens this fertilization. Right, after that, what happens? So after fertilization, you will get one or more zygotes. Remember, because you got more than one eggs or ovum. So if every sperm, also vagina, let's say you got put 3 ovum there. So of course you will have millions of sperm there, right? So every one of them will have a chance to be fertilized. So now you have 3 zygotes. All right. Then after 2 or 4 days, you keep it there, giving nutrient and all that, giving oxygen and all that. So it will mature first. It will become from zygote become 2 cell, 2 cell, 4 cell, 4 cell, 8 cells. Once it reaches the 8th cell, this thing is called embryo now. We don't call zygote. Zygote is only 1 cell. Once it continues to 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, it's called embryo. So once it reaches the 8 cell stage, take out from the petri dish, put into the uterus of the woman, okay, through the cervix from the vagina, right? Not through the pusat, not through the navel there. Okay, the reason is because if you want to develop into a baby or a fetus, the nutrient that you supply is not enough, right? It's not possible. You won't see a baby on the plate there, right? At the moment, technology is not advanced yet. We are not able to produce a baby outside the body. So you have to put it back into the uterus for implantation to occur. Okay, implant first, right? That is, after that, it sticks onto there, able to absorb nutrient from the endometrium lining. So now the 8 cell embryo will develop into morula, all right? Morula will develop into blastocyst, all right? You read through, if you don't understand this, read through, you must know already. You cannot remember this, revise yourself. Then it undergoes normal development to become a fetus. So don't put the word baby. Baby is wrong. Okay, like I mentioned just now, fetus is after 2 months, where you can see the features. You got eyes, got nose, got mouth, ia menyerupai manusia. Then you call it fetus. Before that, it's still called embryo. Embryo is not manusia. It doesn't look manusia. It looks like a ball of cells only. All right, so any 6 marks here. You see, there's so many points. You don't worry. You tambah sikit sana here, a bit there. You probably get a good number of marks. All right, that's why you cannot, don't touch it. You have to, you don't get full marks, never mind. But at least you get a bit of here and there. At least you know a little bit. Okay, you don't have time to read everything, I know. You're very, very excited already. You're very scared for tomorrow. You read, touch and go here, touch and go there. Right? Tambah-tambah akan jadi banyak your marks. Okay, now next question. Question 4. Now look at the relationship between the fetus and the mother, right? So this shows the human fetus in the uterus and the structure of placenta. So how do you see where's the placenta? Yeah, the placenta is this piece of thing here. All right, it looks like a dark color, orange color, like a plate like that. Look like one big organ. It's an organ, yeah. So it sticks. It connects the maternal blood, all right, to the baby, and you can this is called the umbilical cord. Okay, now look at the question. The question says the fetal blood and the maternal blood, that means the baby's blood and the mother's blood, they do not have direct contact with each other. They don't really directly, the blood here come inside, the blood of the baby come inside and they mix together. Wrong. It doesn't happen that way. Explain the advantage of this condition. Why it shouldn't mix. Now, if you see carefully here, right, I will give you another we call acknowledgement. Yeah? If you are asked to label which is the umbilical cord, umbilical artery, umbilical vein, it's very easy to see. Umbilical cord is the outside one. The entire tube there is called umbilical cord. And then the umbilical cord has got two types of blood. You see the red and the blue, right? The red and the blue. So the umbilical vein is the one that is red color. That means umbilical vein is supplying oxygenated blood from the mother to the uterus. So the umbilical vein is the oxygenated one. Don't always think vein is deoxygenated. In the case of pulmonary vein and umbilical vein, they are oxygenated. So this one goes this way to the fetus. Again, do you see the other? Which one is the artery? Artery got two. Umbilical arteries are the dual. So there you can see very clearly, right? The blue one. So the blue one will be the one that is transporting blood that contains less oxygen, or we say deoxygenated, together with the what they call the waste products, metabolic waste from the baby, back to the mother, okay, through the umbilical arteries. So in that way, you will see which is the one. The one is the vein. The one is the two one. Okay, macam berbelit-belit two is the arteries. Okay, I got a question here. Sort out last paper syndrome. Okay, last paper syndrome should be very excited, right? Last paper. After that, you can shout already. After when the time reaches 1:15, wow, all happy already. Okay, dumb. Is it necessary or not for us to sort the answers? I mean, not step by sort, not to sort. Okay, it's always better to go step by step because it's easier for the permaster to find your points. All right, and also it's easier for you to write because when you think what happens first, what happens second, third, and fourth of course you must think of it that way, isn't it? It's also logical for you to write step by step, and it's easier for you to find. But if it's not possible, you jumble a little bit here and there, it should be fine. Okay, as long as your points are there, we will find it for you. But if you make it so difficult to find, sometimes we may miss out. See, we are also humans. Permarexa is also humans, right? So if you are too jumbly, you jumble too much, you take a risk, right? You take your risk. Your risk is your points. Sometimes the examiner may not, sometimes they mark already, but then they have to count back. They count back. They flip through your page on the computer, on the screen. They flip through. They have to count how many points, and then they will put the tick there, all right? The marking with the computer with the tick there. So it's a little bit risky. So try not to jumble up too much. A little bit is okay, right? But in fact, it's easier for you to write step by step because your logical thinking is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you go along the way. Okay, answer. There are 4 kebaikan. Okay, so this fetal blood and maternal blood, not 3 kebaikan, separated by a membrane. So there is a membrane here. So the membrane here is shown by here, right? Of course, it cannot be seen clearly. It's too small the diagram. This is the blood. We call it chorionic villi. Okay, you see all these like finger like that. All right, this is actually a membrane. The membrane that separates the maternal blood from the fetal blood. So that's a membrane there. All right. So this is called the blood barrier. Okay. It protects the fetal or the fetus from dangerous chemical substances. So there are certain chemicals, all right, certain chemicals which are big molecules, all right, certain drugs, whatever, or in fact, talking about bacteria, toxins, whatever, the size is too big, so it cannot pass through. Okay, membrane, membrane is just like a phospholipid membrane, all right, allows certain substances to pass through. So if it's certain things like bacteria, virus, is not be able to pass through. So if the mother, certain diseases which got bacteria, all right, it will still protect the baby. But of course, I'm not saying all. Some virus can pass through, like HIV. AIDS, if the mother has AIDS, the baby is high possibility because AIDS virus, HIV is very small. It can pass through the blood barrier. So I say not for all. It prevents the delicate fetal blood vessels from bursting due to mother's higher blood pressure. So the mother's blood pressure is higher, okay, because of the size of the body, the volume of the blood. The mother has got more blood, right? Definitely compared to the fetus. So if it goes through and directly connects to the fetal blood, the pressure could be too high, and then the fetus capillary could be too thin. All right, it can burst. So it's to prevent that. Okay, delicate. Then it also prevents agglutination. Okay, this one chapter 10 from 4, where different blood groupings. Okay, mother can be A. All right, mother can be A, baby can be O. Okay, or baby can be O, mother can be B or whatever. All right, you've learned your this one chapter 12 in from 5. Okay, all the blood grouping and how is the hereditary. Father A, mother B, the baby can be O. All right, because it's heterozygous. All right, so it prevents agglutination, blood clotting from occurring in the fetal blood due to incompatible blood group of fetus and mother. All right, so the mother could have A blood, antigen A, then the baby can be O. So if you have the erythrocyte or the red blood cell coming directly, you know the erythrocyte of the A group has the antigen A. So it will trigger the baby to attack the white blood cells from the baby to attack, all right, the blood that comes in. So that could be agglutination. All right, okay, so I see some questions here. For essay, can we write answers in point? Yes, Luvian. Okay. For essay, you don't have to write in paragraph. All right, write in paragraph, in fact, it's quite difficult for us to find the points. So you can write in point form, but please don't make it like notes like that. All right, because it is not clear. You have to write in sentence form. Means you don't have to join. After writing one sentence, you don't have to join it at the end of the sentence. You can put another line. That's what I mean. Sentence by sentence, easier for the pemeriksaan to find your points. We won't penalize you for saying you are writing not in essay form. No, we will mark it. Whatever you give us, we will mark. We will look for the points. Okay, but you don't put it as one dot. Okay, non-continuous dot, intermediate characteristic. No explanation. Please write in sentence. All right. Okay. So any 3 points here, good enough for you to get your function, the advantage of having separated blood system. Okay, does that answer your question, Luvians? All right, a lot of students always ask, okay, they always ask this question, teacher, can we write point form? Yes, you can. You can. Not specifically you can write essay, no need, but make sure when you read it, it reads like an essay lah. All right, sentence. Separate the sentence, one after another. No need to join at the end of the sentence, right? Sentence. It feels like an essay, but you're putting it like separated into points like that. Okay, but don't put point lah. Don't put dot. You just write sentence. Easier for us, easier for the pemeriksaan to find your answer also. Find your points. Okay. All right, last question. All right, I don't want to take too much of your time because you have to read. All right, I don't get you all kanchiong, and too many things to what. The more you read, the more you think, oh, the more I don't know. All right, I don't want to make you all scared. So you do your own revision. Okay, it's very important. You have to read. All right, now this is higher order thinking, menilai. That means evaluating whether what is this procedure for and what is it used for. Okay, so this is something that you don't have it in the textbook, I think, right? But this can be something that can be asked. So in certain pregnancies, that's why I'm going to KBAT question, because every exam, every paper sure got KBAT one. We want to differentiate you from the A plus student from the A minus student. If you can answer all these questions very well, you're A plus student, right? In certain pregnancies, a procedure known as amniocentesis is performed. Some of the amniotic fluid, you know the water bag there, we call it water bag. Itu orang biasa lah, don't say water bag. Amniotic fluid that surrounds the baby. Okay, it is like a cushion, right? It protects the baby from physical shock. So this amniotic fluid, sometimes the doctor will take some of the liquid there and analyze it. What is the purpose of this structure, of this procedure? Why? Okay, there's certain reasons, sometimes reason. Okay, perhaps in the family history, there are certain cases of let's say maybe the first baby has already Down syndrome, all right, or maybe certain kind of syndrome, whatever, or diseases, whatever. So the mother now is pregnant and she's worried this baby got problem or not. So actually you can early detection, we call it early detection, take out the liquid. But what we can see is only to the chromosome. We cannot see the genes, not possible for you to microscopically go and see the genes. No, you do not know whether it is you have this what they call the genetic mutation. You cannot see whether the person has sickle cell anemia. Cannot. What you can see is the number of chromosome, whether it's normal or abnormal. See whether you count. Is it 46? Probably okay. Then count. Under the microscope there, the doctor there, 47 more. Then something is wrong, right? Then it's possibly, then they can consider maybe want to go through or not the pregnancy. Okay, so this kind of medical procedure is to ascertain the health of the fetus. So if it's confirmed it is a fetus that has got problem, perhaps, all right, it is not illegal. The pregnancy can be terminated, can be stopped, because the baby is not normal. The baby is going to have problem fetus. Why do you want to raise a baby, bring him or her into this world to suffer? All right, that is allowed. All right, so what is the question? All right, let me go through the question. Yes, Daphne, yes, 养胎水 not 那个羊 not the 可mbing 羊 is to nurture 养胎水 养胎水 对 Daphne okay, so it's answering your question there. Okay, let's go. Fetal cells are found in the amniotic fluid. Yes, in the amniotic fluid, the fetus inside there will be some cells that are shed. Ada keluar sikit lah. Some cells are shed, the baby cell inside there. So when you take the sample of the liquid, there will be some fetal cells that from the baby one. So they look at actually not the DNA lah, it's the chromosome. Okay, so we don't, maybe I'll change it. Sorry, this is a mistake here. You cannot see the DNA. DNA is too, what do you call that? Too microscopic, too small. All right, you don't see DNA, the chromosomes. All right, so chromosome in the fetal cell, the chromosomes in the fetal cell are examined. All right, now you can see then to diagnose, menentukan, to check for chromosomal abnormalities. Only chromosomal level you can see. You can't see right down to all these genetic mutation, whether the what they call the sequence of the code, okay, the amino acid, all this you cannot see that. You can see whether the number of chromosomes is normal or not. Whether the baby has cried to check also can see, because the segment of the chromosome number 5 will be shorter if the baby has cried to check. Okay, I hope you know what I'm talking about. If not, please go and revise your chapter 12 from 5. Okay, then to evaluate the fetus health, whether the fetus is healthy or not, you can check from the fetal cells, all right? See the number of chromosomes and so on, to determine the possibility of treatment, if treatment can be done, even to determine the possibility of abortion. You know abortion? Abortion means you gugurkan the kandungan because the baby has certain abnormalities. All right, so this is very simple only, 4 marks only, but you need to know what to write. You need to know what is the function of the amniocentesis. Okay, right. So if you need any of these answers, you can go and click back the link there. You can pause it and you can copy down the answer. Right, but I think you should be reading other things. At least you know, right, what to write in case the question comes up. All right, okay, so that's all I have for you today. All right, I know you need to study, so of course I won't see you again, right, because you'll be finishing Form 5. Maybe what you can do is you recommend my videos on my channel to your Form 4 friends, all right, your juniors. If you find that your brother, your sister who are in lower form, which think that it will benefit her or him as it has benefited you, please do let them know that the materials are all there on my channel. If you want to watch it, please do. All right, and tell your Form 4 friends as well. All right, okay. So thank you very much. And lastly, I would like to wish you all the best for tomorrow. So sleep early, don't sleep until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow you'll be zombie. You will fall asleep in the exam hall. You sleep early, all right? Not later than 12. Do your revision. I'm sure you've done the best that you can. All right. Keep calm. All right. God will help you. All right. If you've done the best, I'm sure God will help you. All right. Do all your questions and keep calm, right? And be happy, right? And calm yourself. Eat, sleep, all right? And just be happy, all right? Okay, thank you very much. So I probably won't see you, right? You're in Form 5. I will have a rest. I will not make any more videos until the school starts, all right? Which is, I will maybe go back to Form 5 videos. Form 4 mostly finished already, okay? Maybe I'll do Form 5 videos. Okay, right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. And all the best to you tomorrow. Okay, gambate, fighting. All right? Okay. See you another time. Don't know where. Bye-bye.